How's it going, folks? Here we are, episode 2 of the C-Listers, the brand new movie podcast from Mara and I. I'm Mark. Mara,
What?
that's for you. Say hi. I was introducing you.
Hello, I am Mara.
And we have a very special guest joining us tonight, because for some reason he's also seen the movie we're reviewing. And that's my buddy
Yes.
Noah.
Greetings. I regret watching the movie, but I get to talk about it, so here we go.
Yeah, we'll get into the actual review, and that movie is Men in Black International. Yeah, we'll get into it later. But Noah's a buddy of mine. We wrote for a baseball website together. Do you still write for that?
I do. It's kind of, I think it got hacked or something, but they're working on fixing it up, so
Yeah,
I got to write about the Angels when I get back.
yeah, because I remember I submitted like 3 ideas and no one responded to me, and I was like, screw it, and I stopped writing.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was. I was like, okay, these guys don't want me here. Is basically the vibe I got. So yeah, that's. You say Jim Edmonds should be a Hall of Famer once, and everyone turns their back on you.
Andy said the Giants would win 93 games, so
Well, no, people just shit on me for that. They didn't. Whatever. So, let's get right into news. And probably the biggest news to cover right now is Avengers Endgame. It's back in theaters. It's getting re-released. They're only $44 million behind Avatar for the highest grossing movie of all time. The Russo brothers say they don't care about that. I say bullshit. Yeah, they want to beat Avatar. That movie stinks. This is a great movie. And so it's coming back. It's going to have it's going to have a post-credit scene. It's going to have a couple other deleted scenes I've heard involved.
It is not an extended cut.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
There's just a deleted scene after the credits.
really?
Yeah, it says, not an extended cut, but there will be a version going to theaters with a bit of a marketing push with a few things at the end of the movie. If you stay and watch the movie after the credits, there will be a deleted scene, a little tribute, and a few surprises.
That's definitely not to beat the box office record. I totally believe Kevin Feige there.
Well, I don't know. I still think it'll beat it. I know for a fact I'm going to see it again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's an awesome movie. And if you're listening to this, go see Avengers Endgame. Again, if you haven't seen it once, go to see it for the first time. But if you have seen it, suck it up. Help this movie beat Avatar. It deserves the highest grossing
Don't
movie
let
of all
Avatar be
time.
number one. Don't do it.
Don't do it. James Cameron.
Don't be that one guy.
I'm sorry, you made a couple of good movies. You don't deserve it, especially for that hunk of shit. It's Dances with Wolves, people. Open your eyes.
Stay woke.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as far as Avengers Endgame goes, if you haven't seen it by now, you honestly deserve the movie to be spoiled to you. So just watch it. Go to the theater right now before I say something. Just go.
But if I get into a heated mood by the end of this episode, I might spoil it for everybody.
Everybody dies.
No, that's Infinity War.
What?
Mara is one of 7 people on the planet to see Endgame and not Infinity War, just super confused.
I actually know someone who did that.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's rough.
I'm just like, what are you doing?
What a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's back in theaters. What, next week? I think.
I don't know. It says which will be next weekend, and this came out the 19th, so yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, next week.
Yeah, right before Far From Home.
Yeah, that's right.
And the weekend after Toy Story comes out too.
Yes. So check it out.
So it'll be interesting to see how it competes to those movies in the box office.
I think there's enough Marvel fans out there that want it to be number 1, so I think it'll get there.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's enough Marvel fans that are clamoring for some sort of extra scene or something like that. So
Yeah.
I think it'll get there. Both of you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
think
hope
you
so.
can do it.
So good. I'll say it right now. Avengers Endgame, highest grossing movie of all time. Calling
Heard
it.
it here first, folks.
Yes, you did. On to our second news item. One of the most anticipated sequels of all time, speaking of Endgame, because that was probably the most anticipated sequel of all time, but maybe the second most anticipated sequel of all time, Space Jam 2.
Ooh.
The basketball cast has been revealed. Of course, it stars LeBron James, who's trying to follow in Michael Jordan's footsteps once again.
LeBron James.
Once again, will fall short. Yeah, I said it. We're a basketball podcast now. But no, it's gonna have LeBron, Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors, Anthony Davis now of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to be playing with LeBron next year, and I feel like that might have something to do with his casting in this.
Collusion.
Oh, absolutely. LeBron loves collusion.
You know the one place LeBron James doesn't fall short?
Where?
Height.
That's true. He's taller than Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Well, he's got 2 inches on him. LeBron 6'8",
Yep.
MJ 6'6".
Yeah, how do you know that off the top of your head? Like, why?
I'm a sports nut. You know this.
Yeah, but still.
So yeah, LeBron, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar, the second best rapper in the NBA. Marvin Bagley's got him. I'm sorry, but
debatable.
Second best rapper in the NBA, Dame Lillard, is going to be in this movie. And then 2 WNBA stars, Diana Taurasi, who of course is a WNBA legend. And would anyone like to try to say this name? Nika.
I'm not gonna try that.
I think it's Nika Ogumike. Is my professional guess on that one. Nika Ogumike, who I'm sorry I've never heard of her. At least Diana Taurasi, I was like, oh, Diana Taurasi's gonna be in this movie, but Nika Ogumike, no clue who she is. So, but she's in this movie.
She made the cut.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
I guess she's gonna be like the who was the huge European guy from the original Space Jam that no one cared about. Oh God, I'm looking it up right now. Oh, it's Vlade Divac.
There we go.
Who actually, I think he just got in the Hall of Fame. He might be in the Basketball Hall of Fame now. No, I don't think... No, maybe not. I might have been thinking of someone else. But, yeah, he was in there, and no one really cared. So I guess she's going to be the Vlade Divac of this
guess so.
movie, which that's cool, I guess.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the second movie is, just because of how far animation's gone since that first Space Jam movie. But the first one does age pretty well.
Yeah, the animation in that one absolutely holds up.
Like, even movies like The Incredibles, like, the animation's a little dated now, but in Space Jam, it's just that unique style, I guess, makes it look better today.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm also... I don't know about you guys. I'm excited to see LeBron's acting chops. Because he was already in that...
He was in Trainwreck.
Yeah, he was in Trainwreck, which is a terrible Amy Schumer movie.
Apparently he was pretty good, though.
Yeah, I've seen the scene with him and Bill Hader playing basketball. It's pretty funny because Bill Hader scores 1 point on him and acts like he just won the fucking NBA Finals. Pretty funny clip, probably the funniest part of that movie. I actually haven't seen the movie. But Amy Schumer's in it, and I've heard it's bad, so I'm going to say it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Space Jam 2. Moving on, we've got more Marvel news. Keanu Reeves, so John Wick, is apparently... Marvel asks him if he wants to be in every single Marvel movie, and he just said he's waiting for the perfect role. So he hasn't...
I would love to see him.
Yeah, he hasn't rolled it out. It looks like Keanu Reeves, not Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves will eventually be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mara, what do you think?
I think it'll be great.
Now, have you seen the John Wick movies, Mara?
No, I have not.
They're very good.
That yet. I did. My mom was watching that one movie on Netflix, what's it called? Always Be My Maybe. And he's in that movie. He has like a small
Yes.
little cameo where he dates the like main character,
Mm-hmm.
and he is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he's
Like if
also
there's
in
any
the
reason to see that movie, it's just for Keanu Reeves.
Bill and Ted movies. Obviously the Matrix trilogy. So he's what's the one surfer movie he did with Patrick Swayze? Point Break.
Yeah.
Point Break. He's so A-list actor, and Marvel loves getting A-list actors to play these roles.
And everybody thinks he's the greatest human being of all time, apparently now. So
Yeah, a lot of Keanu love on Twitter recently.
yeah, definitely. I think
Um,
he's just a nice guy.
Yeah.
Got to cast him in everything now.
Yeah, so I'd love to see him in the MCU. I think he would make possibly the most badass hero in Marvel. If they chose to do that route, or they could choose to make him sort of like an Ant-Man character, sort of comedic relief. He can do both.
Yeah.
He's a very versatile actor. So
It's
that could
kind
be
of
cool.
reminiscent of the McConaissance a couple years ago. I think we're having a Keanu-sance. Where just everybody is obsessed with him, and he's going to start getting cast in everything now.
What was
So
the
I think
first one you said?
the McConaissance.
Oh, McConaissance.
Matthew
I thought you
McConaughey.
said The Rock-naissance or something. I was like, The
The
Rock
Rock.
never really left, did he?
He didn't.
But yeah, the McConaissance.
Try saying that 10 times fast.
Reconnaissance.
Mara, that's one. You got 9 more to go, and you got to say it at quite a brisk pace to.
Reconnaissance.
Holy shit, she did it.
Wow.
Did you even get all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, because I thought my little thingy like flash out.
I know, I heard it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, also Reeves, recently there was rumors that he was going to be in Marvel's The Eternals, which stars Angelina Jolie, and I guess Marvel fans really care about that. I don't seem to care about it yet. I just think it's too far away. I don't know enough about it yet to really care.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's next here? Oh yeah, the Kingsman prequel.
Ah, yes.
There's going to be a prequel to the Kingsman movies, which I think is stupid. Like, in the first place, make a sequel. You tease Channing Tatum joining the Kingsman at the end instead of the Statesman at the end of the Golden Circle, so they should just do that, but whatever. And the title might be one of the dumbest titles I've ever seen.
That was pretty bad.
So, obviously, the first one was called Kingsman, the Secret Service. The second one was called Kingsman, the Golden Circle. And the prequel is called The King's Man.
I did not see that coming.
It's such a bad title.
I'm so excited
Yeah,
for another Kingsman.
That sounds like
movie,
a parody.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't this sound like a Wayans Brothers parody?
It does. Like 50 Shades of Black.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just, as much as I love the Kingsman franchise, which the second one wasn't as good as the first, but it was still pretty good, and the first one's awesome.
Wonderful.
I don't know if I'm excited for this. I don't need a prequel. I think they set up this, like, the entire organization well enough in the 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I need this, especially with, like I said, they teased Channing Tatum at the end of Kingsman: The Golden Circle. And
Yeah,
I
why
think,
not just go
Yeah.
go forward with the story?
And get him in a full movie, not 10 minutes of screen time like he had in The Golden Circle because he was a fucking coke addict or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he smoked weed once, I think, but whatever. So, Mari, you're excited for this?
Oh, I'm excited for anything related to the Kingsman. Like, I absolutely love those movies.
I mean, that's fair.
I just think the whole idea behind it is just so cool, and they do it so well. Like the fight scenes in those movies alone make them amazing.
Oh yeah, the fight scenes are great.
Yeah, and the speed up, slow down isn't as gratuitous as other movies that have used it before.
Yeah, but it's so smooth. You know what I mean? They have the only fight scenes I think top Kingsman are John Wick. I think John Wick has better action scenes, but it's close. Like the church scene in the first Kingsman is incredible.
Yes.
And
the music they use too is like really good.
Oh yeah, with Freebird playing in that one, and
Yeah.
what was it? Saturday's All Right for Fighting in the main fight scene in The Golden Circle, because Elton John was like a starring role in that movie for some reason.
Mhm. And then Word Up.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know,
Word
but
Up. I
like a
forgot about
country
that.
version of it. That was
Yeah,
so good.
that was really
That part.
cool.
I really liked that fight scene specifically.
Yeah.
Or he like dives through the lasso.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's The King's Man. And now moving on to some news that I don't quite understand. So apparently Apple is releasing a streaming service called Apple Plus. So first of all, they just stole Disney Plus's name.
Yeah, not even creative.
Hey, come on, Apple. I don't know. Do you have an iPhone?
I do have an iPhone.
Do you have a Mac computer?
I do. I'm using it right now.
Okay, so 2 out of the 3 people on this don't like Apple.
Yep.
Mara and I both have Google Pixel phones. We both use PCs. So, first of all, these aren't even going to be available to us. But I guess their streaming service, they're planning on having 6 Oscar-worthy films a year.
I'm curious what their definition of Oscar worthy is. Like,
That's-
are they
that's
aiming
my
for
thing.
makeup and hairstyling, best director, best score? Like, what's their definition of that there?
Yeah, like I don't quite get it. So I
Mhm.
just I don't yeah, it's a weird thought.
And I think a lot of times when people go in making a movie and they're like, "Oh, this has to win an Oscar. Like, we have to push for the Oscars," it ends up falling flat because people can read right through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's also risky whenever the studios go after Oscar bait movies. Like, they go in expecting it to rack up all the awards. Like, Life Itself came out last year, probably the worst movie I've ever seen. And that had like a great cast. It had Oscar Isaac, Olivia Wilde, Olivia Cook, even more people. It just like stacked cast across the board. Antonio Banderas too.
Yeah,
And
Mandy
then there's
Patinkin.
and then Collateral Beauty with Will Smith. I've heard that's one of the most laughably bad movies ever, which I guess you could find some kind of enjoyment in, but definitely not the Oscar bait that they were looking for. So I don't think it's necessarily good that they go in expecting that. I think the priority should just make a good movie. That should be the number one thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. Mara, what do you think about Apple Plus 6 Oscar movies?
That's terrible. I didn't really understand what Oscar bait was until like last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now it just makes me mad every time I hear that word. That's for a different reason. So I think making movies to win Oscars is so stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It reminds me, Mara, I doubt you've seen it, but no, have you ever seen the show American Dad?
No, I've heard of it though.
Yeah, so it's a Seth MacFarlane show, so it's like Family Guy. And there's one episode where it's like a spoof of a James Bond movie, and it's called Tearjerker. And Roger the Alien, he plays the villain Tearjerker, and his goal is to make a movie so sad that it makes everyone cry to death.
Nice.
And the movie is called Oscar Gold. And it's about a mentally challenged alcoholic kid during the Holocaust whose dog dies.
That sounds like Life Itself. I'm not even gonna lie.
And so whenever I see something about like huge Oscar bait movies, I just think of Oscar Gold.
Yep.
And that's sort of what this reminds me of.
And it's just kind of, they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're copying so many other streaming services. Like, they couldn't have even come up with something else than insert name here plus.
Yeah, I know. It's
Come on.
like, first of all, there's been one streaming service to have a movie nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
And that's
Roma,
Netflix with
right?
Roma.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's, more times than not, streaming service movies are not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not terrible. sometimes, unless it's like Bright with Will Smith or,
Yeah.
the Cloverfield Paradox or, there are exceptions where they're awful, but, usually they're just average movies like Bird Box. That is an aggressively average movie.
Like aggressively average.
Yeah.
And also, even a movie like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which people like, I think people don't like it because it's groundbreaking. People like it because it's better than the other options that Netflix usually puts out.
Exactly. Or like the new Ted Bundy movie. Like,
Yeah.
that's not very good. I'm not even going to try to think of the name. So,
Extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile.
did you think of that off the top of your head?
Yeah. I don't know how. Thank you.
Bravo. Mara, you were going to say something?
You guys clearly haven't seen the Netflix original Malibu Rescue. Quite
I
frankly, the best
definitely
movie
haven't.
I've ever seen in my life.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's so bad.
Also,
I'm
is
like genuinely upset that I watched it.
this isn't including like the Happy Madison Netflix originals, like
Mhm.
um,
Adam
the
Sandler's Deal.
Ridiculous Six and Murder Mystery, which I haven't seen yet, but apparently it's not terrible.
It's not bad.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll have you give your thoughts on that later on. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I don't really care about this. It's not like I'm going to be able to watch them anyway. Or I'll probably be able to, but I'm not going to pay for
Yeah, I'm not sure. Even though I have Apple products, I'm not sure if I'd really pay to use this service when there's other services that sound more enticing.
like Disney Plus. I'm absolutely going to get Disney Plus.
Yeah, because The Irishman, with Martin Scorsese behind it,
That's my
I
most
think that's
anticipated movie this year.
that's going on Disney, correct?
No, it's on Netflix.
Or not on Disney, on Netflix.
It's also
Yeah,
getting
like
a
something like-
theatrical release.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's already established, but Apple's just like, yeah, we'll make a good movie. We'll make 6 good movies. There's no like talent behind the camera. There's
Yeah.
no people that they've cast. There's no title for any of the movies. Like
Well,
they could be pulling this out of thin air right now.
I won't say there's no talent because apparently Apple has been linked to working with Taika Waititi. So Thor
Oh.
Ragnarok, What We Do in the Shadows. That's what that was called, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
A few other things. The new he's doing a movie for Netflix. I can't think of what it's called right now, but it's about Michael Jackson's monkey. So that'll be interesting. That's
Sorry, what?
that's true. I don't know if it's still getting made, but at one point
They're
Taika
making a
Waititi,
movie just about his monkey.
yeah, he was going to make a comedy about Michael Jackson's monkey.
Huh. I
like
can't say I don't want to see that movie.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna watch it. They've got M. Night Shyamalan, who, if you're depends on your definition of talented.
Ooh.
Hey, listen. I'll give him The Sixth Sense. I'll give him Split.
Glass was rough.
I didn't see Glass. I also haven't seen Unbreakable. So,
Yeah.
But so I'll give him those two. But everything else, you gotta remember this man did The Last Airbender.
Never forget.
He ruined one of the greatest cartoons in television history. So, yeah, like I said, depends on your definition of talented. But J.J. Abrams, Star Trek, Star Wars.
Wait, no, he did Stuart Little. All sins forgiven.
M. Night Shyamalan did Stuart Little?
What was the twist?
I looked up M. Night Shyamalan movies. It says Stuart Little.
The Car.
Oh, he did the screenplay.
Oh, he wrote it.
Yeah.
Holy
There's no
shit.
twist. What's the twist in the movie?
The car is like a human
the-
can't fit in the car. I don't know.
The rat drives the boat.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
It's a mouse.
There has to
Sorry,
be
the
something.
mouse drives the boat because the boat is no longer able to be controlled by the controller.
Okay.
That's the M. Night Shyamalan patented twist.
Uh-huh. Or the twist is there's no twist.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a good one.
There it is.
That's the twist. There's no twist. Yeah, J.J. Abrams is linked with Apple, and Damien Chazelle, who,
Oh.
excuse me as I get up the IMDb because I'm blanking on all Damien Chazelle movies right now.
La La Land.
Oh, La La Land. That's
Whiplash?
right. Whiplash. Yeah.
Yeah.
First
I haven't
Man.
seen Whiplash yet. I need to see that.
Oh, Whiplash is awesome.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, he's directed 3 full-length movies, and it was Whiplash, La La Land, and First Man.
I'm a big La La Land fan.
That's
It's a
3
great movie.
Oscar movies. How many? He's only won 1 Oscar, but he's been nominated 3 times
That's impressive.
for 3
He's got a
movies.
perfect record.
Well, he didn't get nominated for First Man. First Man wasn't great, I
Oh.
guess.
It
but
didn't make it for score either. I think it got visual effects.
yeah,
Sound
won
design.
visual effects. It was nominated for sound editing, production design, and sound mixing,
hmm
along with obviously visual effects because it won. But yeah, this guy's directed 3 Oscar movies. So if he's gonna be working with Apple, there might be some good stuff there, or there might be some bad stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some synopsis, synopsi.
Synopses.
I don't know
think.
where else. Synopses. There we go. Of these movies to find out like what the subject matter is, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Before I'm like completely on board or off board.
yeah. So I'm not gonna say I'm on board just because I'm not gonna pay for this streaming service. But
Mhm.
that's it for news. That's good news segment today. I think some interesting stories. That Apple one.
Yeah.
That's a big discussion point. I feel like.
Mhm.
But that's gonna bring us into our review for this week. Like I said, Men in Black
There we go.
International. Now, I'm gonna have Noah. You're gonna give your score, then Mara, then I'll give mine, and then we'll do the same order for our actual reviews. So Noah, what's your score?
This is tough because I didn't hate it, but there were so many things in it that could have been so much better if they like put in any effort.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I'll give it a 55.
55. Okay. Mara, how about you? This is the
I
score I'm
gave-
most excited for, by the way, because I have no idea if Mara liked this movie or not. And we saw it together.
6,042,000.
Actual score.
I have a very specific reason for the score. It is a 64.
64. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason being because it's like almost an okay movie, but not quite.
So it doesn't quite pass for you.
It doesn't quite
I
pass,
get
but
that.
it's right there.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
right there.
No, I get that. That's not a I honestly expected you to give this like an 83 or something. So I'm fine with that score. My score, looking at my database here, 46.
Ooh, that's brutal.
Did not like this movie. Didn't like
we've
it
got,
one
like,
bit.
We've got 3 perspectives on the scale of bad to mediocre, basically.
Yeah. So none of us thought this was a good movie.
No.
Mara's the closest, thinking it's a meh movie.
It's almost okay. It's not
Yeah.
meh.
hmm
Above meh.
So that averages out to a 55. So it has a 55 average score from all 3 of us.
There we go.
So it does not pass. I don't know if we explained this in the first episode. When we do this, a 65 is passing just like in high school. So that's this is an official fail of a movie.
Yikes.
Noah, start.
Yes.
Comments on the movie. What do you got?
So my biggest problem with this movie just overall is I went in expecting it to be terrible. And it wasn't terrible. But it was so unspectacular in every sense. The character designs,
Mm-hmm.
when I thought they were so good in the first Men in Black movie, in this one, I don't think they brought any creativity or ingenuity to the table.
I agree.
They have so much CGI just stuffed in this movie where there's no practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this movie's not going to age very well. I think the first movie might age better than this one.
The first movie has already aged better than this one will.
Yeah.
The first movie's good.
Yeah, it is good. And just the costumes even, I felt like they didn't really put much effort into any aspect of the movie, especially in the writing too.
The writing was
That was another point I had before I let you guys dive in, but Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are 2 of the most charismatic people ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're 2 of the most beautiful people in Hollywood too. So they
Fair
had
point.
such an easy job to just let them riff off of each other and have a bunch of good jokes in the movie, but I felt like they held the script so tightly to where they didn't let them like show off their comedic talents, show off their charisma. It felt like it was just a weak performance from both of them, but it wasn't because they weren't trying. It's because the people who wrote the script weren't trying.
Those are good points. I
Yeah.
agree with a lot of what you just said. Mara, how about you?
Biggest issue with this movie? The Thor joke with the tiny hammer was not needed at all. Like,
I remember we looked at each other. We were like, "Is that a Thor joke?" They throws the hammer and the guy catches it and throws it back at him. We're like, "Yep, it's a Thor joke."
what? It was such a tiny hammer too. Like, it's just, I don't even. But Pawny, easily the best character in any
I
movie
agree.
ever.
I will
You lost
get
me there.
I will get to
Yeah,
my
I'd be in the first
thoughts
half.
on Pawnee.
He's easily the best character in the movie.
Yes, best
Um,
character in the movie.
His
I'll
little
agree with you there.
weapons are freaking hilarious. Like the tiny grappling hooks that he pulls out. Like, those are just great. And it's
You know,
great.
I care so little about Pawnee. I misspelled his name on my notes and didn't care about checking.
I thought it was a Parks and Rec reference. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he spelled it like
Yeah, I
Pawnee
spelled it
of Pawnee, Indiana.
Pawnee instead of Pawny. And guess what? I still don't give two shits. Fuck Pawnee. I personally thought this movie stunk. There was one part that I actually laughed. And I don't remember what it was. That's how unmemorable of a movie this was.
Yeah, same. I had one chuckle. I think it was the Kumail Nanjiani's character, but
Yeah,
everything
I think
else,
it
like,
was a Pawnee joke, but
one of the biggest jokes in the movie was that the wheel was on the right side of the car. Like that's what we're working
Yeah,
with
that
right
was-
now.
oh my god, it was so bad. This movie was so unfunny to me.
Yeah, there wasn't even like moments where there were like chuckles or like smiling. Really, it was just kind of. I just had a straight face the entire movie.
Yeah, and by the way, I would like to point out that the only reason I gave this movie a 46 is because I originally gave it a 43, but then I looked at my rankings and I saw that Batman Forever has a 43, and I was like, this isn't as bad as Batman Forever, so I bumped it up a few points.
Mhm.
But it was close. This is, in my opinion, this is a bad movie. And the writing was awful, like you said. I wanted it, and I think that as an audience we were spoiled with the perfect Tessa Thompson Chris Hemsworth pairing in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes. I don't think it could have been better.
I don't either. I think they were perfect in that movie, and that's why I was excited for this movie at first. Because I
Oh
was-
my god, I didn't even realize that was the same girl.
yeah, it's Valkyrie.
Oh my god, I did not realize that.
And that's one of the things that drags this movie down for me is we
Yeah.
know how good they are together.
Mhm.
We've seen it. They were fantastic in that. And maybe it's we don't have a big CGI Mark Ruffalo in this one. Or Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum makes any movie better. To be fair,
That's a fact.
just put him in everything.
That's a
Honestly,
certified fact. But it's just, I thought the direction was bad. I didn't like the cinematography. The plot was stupid.
yeah.
Like, it's so unoriginal. Oh, the rookie is
Mhm.
smarter than the veteran. Oh no, how are they gonna work this out? Like, oh my god, everything about this movie was unoriginal. The oh yeah, I meant to say this at the start of the review. Spoiler alert. The
Oh
twist.
my gosh, the twist.
The
No,
twist.
Oh
This
my
was
God.
worse than any twist M. Night Shyamalan has ever put into a movie.
yes.
It was just,
Uh,
it was the stereotypical, oh, the boss is the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
True story. 20 minutes into the movie, I saw it with one of my friends and my brother, and I whispered to my friend who's sitting next to me, and I said every point that would happen in the end of the movie, and it was true. I was like, even before I went into the movie, I was like, Liam Neeson, with that voice and that intimidating stature, he has to be a villain. There's no other way.
It's, nothing about this movie was original. And yeah, you're right, the twist was so easily telegraphed. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
lord.
Oh yeah,
They didn't even, at the beginning, so there's this big thing where Chris Hemsworth and Liam Neeson saved the world with nothing but their wits and their Model 70 fucking, I don't know.
Model 7 Analyzer.
Some atomizer.
There we go.
Yeah, Model
Science
7.
mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, Model 7 deatomizer or whatever it was. And they said that like 12 times in the movie. And we're like, and it's simple. You're like, oh, Chris Hemsworth doesn't actually know what happened. He got neuralized. So that means Liam Neeson neuralized him and they didn't actually save the world. And this entire time, Liam Neeson is a villain. And there it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened. I just explained the entire movie to people listening to this.
Pretty much.
It
I'm
stinks.
sorry, but we also saved you an hour and 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Or 2 hours, or however long it was.
This movie also dragged on, I thought.
I actually don't agree with you particularly there. I was going to say one of the only positives I had, besides Kumail Nanjiani being like fine, like pretty funny, was that despite all the negatives in the movie, it never bored me. Like it felt somewhat brisk, but I think that was just because I saw everything coming.
It bored the living shit out of me. I remember at one point during the movie, Mara looked over at me and she was like, "I can tell how much you hate this."
I was living it up over there with Pawny though.
You were so
Oh my
excited every time that
He was
short fuck was on
freaking
screen.
Hilarious though. Like he's everything I wanted out of a character in this movie.
Okay, so
Pawnee spin-off, next Men in Black movie.
if they
Pawny
make
movie.
a Pawnee spinoff, I'm gonna see it just so it can sit right next to Jack and Jill on my rankings of the only two movies I've ever given a 0.
Yikes.
I think a Pawnee movie would be good.
But oh Jesus, I just now
Mara, I have a question.
Yes.
What's your pitch for this movie? What's the plot?
I want a crossover between Pawnee and the those bug things. I can't remember what they're called.
from the first one
From the first movie.
that were all
They're like in this movie. They get off like the train.
yeah,
front of her.
Oh,
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
Jewish aliens.
Yeah.
They're all no, seriously. They're all Jewish people. They're all Jewish guys from New York City. Like if you listen to them talk, the one of them had a line in Men in Black International where he goes, "Hey, you want to go get a nosh?" And nosh is a Yiddish slang term for a snack. So he's Jewish. This alien is Jewish, and I don't get it.
Yes.
Oh, they are worms.
Yeah, little worm
Worms.
things.
Oh my god, I think a crossover between those two characters would be great.
And get Will Smith's dog too. Get the dog.
Yeah.
Why not?
Didn't the dog make an appearance in this movie? Wasn't there like a cameo by the dog?
Yeah, he was in when she walks in
Yeah.
to the place, he's on the ground next to the guard.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, he's like, "Are you gonna call that in?" Stuff
Oh,
like that.
yeah, that's right. Because she just walks into the Men in Black headquarters, which is also very unrealistic because no one's found this place in years. So she just waltzes in, and the dog's like, "Hey, you gonna call that in?" Because the dog's also from New York. For some reason, why is everyone from the Bronx in this movie? She's from New York City. It's apparently aliens only exist in New York City, which makes complete sense
Yeah.
now that I think about it.
California, we're chilling.
100%.
Yeah, Noah's over there chilling. We're like 6
Yeah.
hours away from mass destruction.
Not even
Just ride
sweating
the
about
subway
it.
for like 10 minutes, you'll see all the aliens.
Yeah, you'll see plenty of aliens.
There we go.
But
There's one point that I will say about Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson on the positive side. This is what my brother said after the movie, and I just completely agree with him here. Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson at their worst is better than me at my best. So they're still not bad.
no,
They're just kind of doing nothing.
they weren't. They were the most redeeming part of this movie for me, actually.
Yeah, if they weren't cast
Other
in this
than
movie,
Pawny.
it would be a train wreck.
Pawny stinks. Pawny's an awful character. No,
Buddy is a great character, like absolutely wonderful.
I really enjoy Kumail Nanjiani. Okay, I
He's
think
great in The Big Sick.
Oh, The Big Sick, so good, and he is hilarious in that. My favorite character from that was personally Ray Romano, but
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
He's so good in The Big Sick, and I think he's so funny. And I think this shit little chess piece who's horny is just why are they using such a good comedic actor for that? That's something I would have been fine if like James Corden voiced it, but I don't
Oh
give a
no,
shit.
please
James
no.
Corden would have made an awful Pawnee.
Well, guess
Peter
what?
Rabbit
Kumail
was enough.
Nanjiani was not much better. I think
Oh,
that
he's
character
the
was
great
awful.
Pawnee.
Let's just agree to disagree.
Oh
I
my
think
I'm with
Mark
Mara here.
hates life. Is what's
I hate this
happening
movie.
now.
I hate this movie. I officially, it's the let's see, what's the actual ranking here? I have rated 421 movies. This is 407th.
Oh, dang. What's in the company of it?
It's right below. So I'll read the three above it and the three below it. So
Okay.
the three above it are Insidious 3, Transformers: Age of Extinction, and
Ooh.
Grown Ups 2.
Oh.
Ooh.
Right below it, I have The Visit, another M. Night Shyamalan movie. That's M. Night right there.
Yeah, isn't there like a kid who raps in that movie?
I don't. No. This is a horror movie about two kids that go to visit their grandparents, and their grandparents are demons.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, I remember that one. I never actually watched it.
Batman Forever
Oh.
and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie,
Wow.
which little tease for the next episode that might come up a couple times next episode. That's how
Wow.
that's how you tease for a
There you go.
podcast episode right there. But I'll talk more about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie next time. But those are that's the company it's in. Those are all within
That's
4
pretty rough.
points of Men in Black International.
I can't say I hated the movie though. After I was discouraged by the movie. Like that Sony would go out and after that Ghostbusters reboot, which I thought was really bad, that they would do this again. Because I feel like the trap they're falling into is making the movie again because they have more of a budget and they have a new cast instead of having a legitimate story to tell.
Yeah.
And also I thought it's weird in this movie how there was no Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones at all.
That's
Mhm.
all.
There wasn't even a mention.
Yeah.
They're the only two I care about. There was
was
barely
there were
any
hints.
left.
There was the painting.
The picture on the wall.
Yeah, the picture on the wall was of those two, and obviously the dog.
Mhm.
Those were the two Easter eggs alluding back to those movies.
Yeah.
But those are the only two Men in Black agents I care about. Still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just...
They couldn't have at least had one of them show up and say some quippy line.
Or, just show, a mailman. Remember when
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones became a mailman?
Yeah.
And I think that was the second one, right? Yeah. Just, show, a mailman. And they'll be like, oh,
It's
okay.
really-
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't want to pay them. Maybe they didn't want to come back. I don't know.
But even, more subtle nods than they had.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't... I think it would have been nice if there were more subtle nods to the past of the franchise. Because the first movie is really good. The second movie is decent. I actually haven't seen the third one. I know Josh Brolin's in it, but I hear it's a bad Josh Brolin role. So, yeah. I don't know. Didn't like the movie at all. Didn't like it one bit.
Yeah, it just falls between mediocre and bad for me. I was expecting it to be a lot worse, so in a way I was pleasantly surprised, but also annoyed.
This is exactly what I expected to give it, in the mid 40s.
Yeah. And also the trailer, I think there's maybe 4 or 5 jokes in the movie. One of them lands, 2 of them are in the trailer, and then the other ones are just not funny.
Yeah.
So, if you've seen the trailer, I think you're fine. I don't
That's
think
all
you
you
need to
need.
watch it, really.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
This is the trailer.
So I have to
remember
compare this
the
movie to a
trailer.
food now, I think.
Oh yeah. You did say before we started recording here that you like to compare movies to food. So
Yes, it's a weird quirk, but here we go. So, Men in Black International is like a Pop-Tart with no frosting.
Just bland.
Just bland, nothingness.
I like it. That's a
Yeah,
good comp.
there we go.
That's a really
That's
good
it.
comp. Mara, I think you know what time it is. It's time for our more official rating of this movie. Mara, what is your rubber chicken rating?
My rubber chicken rating. I don't even remember what I rated Godzilla
I think you gave it like 4.
for.
You also gave this and Godzilla very similar scores. Wasn't Godzilla like a 66 for you or something?
Wait, I put Godzilla above this?
Yes.
I might have to rethink my life.
Oh my god. Godzilla King of the Monsters was good.
So was Pawny.
I wish Godzilla stepped on Pawny.
No.
Would have been really easy.
I wish Pawny was part of the small chessboard people massacre that happened.
Whoa. That's disrespectful.
Mark, I think this might be the end of our friendship. It's been a good run.
Mara, I'm gonna give you my rubber chicken rating. I want you to give it a half a squeeze.
Hmm.
Can you just
It's
make it
not
like really
working.
quiet?
It's not working right now. Hold on.
That was pretty weak. Yeah.
There we
I
go.
think
Yeah, there we go.
that's-
That was a good one. That was a good one. So half a squeeze of a rubber chicken from me. Mara, have you thought of yours?
I'm gonna give it 6, just so I can do this a lot.
All right, 6. Noah, do you have a rubber chicken rating?
I'll go 5. Because I like hearing that noise.
Oh, I like the delay before the 5th one.
Yeah, it was climactic.
The tension. Better tension than the movie.
Mara, quickly, just because I'm curious, what'd you think of Murder Mystery?
Murder Mystery, it was surprisingly not as predictable as I expected, but still somewhat predictable.
Okay, do you have a rating for it?
No.
No? Can't think of one on the spot?
Better than Jack and Jill.
Better than Jack? Ooh, high praise. That means
It's definitely
there's
better
at
than
least
that.
one redeeming part of the movie.
It's better than one of the other Adam Sandler movies that I can't think of off the top of my head.
The Ridiculous Six?
No.
Are you saying it's
I
not
think it
better
was-
than that? Or
Bedtime
I think it
Stories?
was better than the other one with Jennifer Aniston in it.
Oh, I
Is that
can't remember
Click?
what that's called.
Not Click.
No.
I love Click.
Ew. I forgot you like Click.
There's a lot of tension in this friendship right now.
Mara and I have very differing opinions on movies, which is why this works.
Picked up on it.
Okay, so
Just go with it. That was the movie.
Are you gonna give it a fail? Just like give me a pass fail.
Oh, pass.
Pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say it's worth watching.
Worth watching. Okay, I'll have to check it out. One last thing before we go. We mentioned this movie earlier. I want both of you to try to guess my rating for The Last Airbender.
Ooh.
13.
13, Mara's official guess. How about you, Noah?
7.
9.
Oh, I was
Give it
gonna
a
guess 9. Dang it. All right.
Yeah, I did
I'm-
give one movie a 7 though.
Which one?
The Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh
The
yeah.
puppet, the R-rated Muppet movie where they actually show a puppet's vagina.
Oh,
Every
movie
time
was-
you say that, it hurts a
that's
little more.
that's rough.
That movie made me physically uncomfortable, so I gave it a 7.
Give it a 7.
Just the trailer for the movie, I was like, wait, didn't they use the same joke 4 times in a row?
Yes, they did.
Huh.
There were,
Okay. Cool.
I will give this movie that.
Stanley from The Office is in it.
The only reason I
That's-
gave it a 7 is because there's one joke that made me laugh out loud, and I actually remembered it. So it was at one point they were doing like there was an arrest that was about to be made. It was actually Melissa McCarthy and like the main puppet, and Joel McHale plays a leading character in this from Community. And he's wearing sunglasses. He's pointing his gun at the both of them. And he's like, "Drop your weapons!" And then they drop the weapons, and he's just like, "Drop your weapons!" And they're like, we did, we dropped our weapons. And he's like, "No, you didn't. Drop your weapons." And someone goes, "Take off your fucking sunglasses." So he takes off his sunglasses, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't tell." And then that's the only joke that made me laugh. I just thought that was clever.
Well,
Only reason I gave it a 7. So yeah, that's been episode 2 of the C-Listers. Men in Black International, it fails. That movie failed. All of us gave it a failing grade. So
Yeah.
be better, Sony.
yeah, Sony stinks. Make better
Spider-Man.
movies.
If it wasn't for Moneyball and Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse, I would be completely off board with them.
Yeah, but they do. That's the thing. They put out a hit every like 6 years, and
Mhm.
so they just reel you back in.
So we'll get back together in 5 years to watch the next Sony hit.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Alright.
I'll put it in my calendar.
Also, good
Alright.
mention of Moneyball.
It's a great movie.
We've
Favorite
had
movie
a
of all
couple of
time.
discussions about about Moneyball, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we have. I know Mara likes that movie too. So
Just putting words in my mouth now.
I mean, you do, don't you?
Yeah.
That's. But all right. That's it for the podcast. Thanks everybody for listening.
See you.
Noah, thank you very much.
Of course.
I
Thank you for having me on.
I have a strange feeling you'll be back very soon.
Yeah, I feel like I have a strange feeling too.
So we'll see. Make sure you tune in for once Noah comes back. Oh, I almost forgot to promote your Instagram account.
Yes.
Yeah, Noah's a big movie guy. That's why we had him on, obviously. But he has an Instagram account with your brother and one of your buddies, right?
Yeah.
It's at Elevator Movie Reviews, and they review movies from an elevator.
Yes. So in about 30 seconds, we break down our thoughts in the movie, and then there's a little like surprise cameo at the end of each one of them.
Yes, I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you very much.
Good Instagram account. Go follow it if you listen to the podcast.
Don't take it too seriously, but
No, they're not
hopefully
critics.
you enjoy it.
Um,
Yeah. We're fans.
Yes, just like us. We're not critics.
Oh, you seem to be.
Just because I don't like one movie,
You don't like Pawny.
we
Justice for
reviewed
Pawny.
2 movies, and I don't like one movie. Especially one character you enjoyed, and all of a sudden I'm fucking Roger Ebert. Nothing for the Roger
Yes.
Ebert joke? Damn, okay. We won't cut that. All right, bye everybody.